two visits are being made today that are going to affect a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in Las Vegas on the first night of the draft, but maybe the Friday night of the draft, because these guys may drop, or one of them may drop, or neither of them drop, and that allows somebody else to be available on the second night of the draft. Thursday and Friday of the draft are big nights, not just for these franchises who may or may not choose a quarterback, but for Baker Mayfield. When the Browns decided to go in the direction of Deshaun Watson and leave Baker Mayfield feeling pissed, and he sent out his letter to Cleveland. This is when they initially started going down the path of meeting with Deshaun Watson. And the letter to Cleveland comes out, and don't forget, Watson then was out on the Browns until the last minute when he's making his decision, and the Browns told Watson what he wanted to hear, which is every dollar's guaranteed, $230 million of them guaranteed.
Cha-ching.
Right. And so in between all that, I imagine the Browns might have told Baker, we're out. You know, we need, I think if I'm not mistaken, the way it all went down was Browns are interested. He says, Cleveland, I'm out. Then Cleveland is told they're out, and then Cleveland's back in. I can only imagine the way that was communicated to Mayfield that leaves him feeling the way that he does today. And the way that he feels today is not just because of Cleveland moving on from him, but he's sitting in limbo. And I told you when that all happened and the Colts went and acquired Matt Ryan, that left no spots available at the moment where a team is absolutely needing a starting quarterback for 2022. That left him no seats. That left him Seattle trying to figure it out. That left him any other place that might be thinking about a quarterback competition, Carolina potentially being one of them. But today, Kenny Pickett's in Carolina, and Desmond Ridder is in Seattle. Those are the top 30 visits you're hearing about right now. Those are the two visits right now that are happening today. And if Carolina loves Pickett and they take him 6th overall, I know Mel Kiper put out there today on his mock draft, it's Malik Willis. Mm-hmm. That would be something.
Yeah.
Because then Pickett might wind up number 20 overall to Pittsburgh, and we all know that New Orleans moved into the middle of the first round for a second choice, using next year's draft capital to do that. They did that for a reason. Potentially, maybe they do love Willis or they do love Pickett, and now they'll have the firepower to potentially move up to 5 for the Giants. But they could have just knocked on the Giants' door, I would imagine, and given them what they gave to Philadelphia for the right to come back into this draft. But they might have actually had to give up both first-round picks to get up to the Giants, which they now have. We'll see how it all plays out. But if the Seattle Seahawks meet Desmond Ridder face-to-face in their facility today, and he impresses and leaves John Schneider and Pete Carroll with an affinity for him, deeper than the one they already had, then it doesn't matter how much money the Browns cut off of their salary cap to defray the cost of acquiring Baker Mayfield's contract. Doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how much the Browns are willing to eat off of Mayfield's contract to trade him to Carolina if Carolina falls head over heels for Pickett or Willis. And then I don't know where that leaves Baker Mayfield. And I'm sure that all of this has been laid out for him as he sat down on the You Never Know podcast. Is that the podcast that would have?
Yeah, you never know.
And this is the exchange that's clanking around the internets today.
Right now is like, I really, truly, honestly have no regrets of my time in Cleveland, of what I tried to give to that place.
Right.
And true Clevelanders and true Browns fans know that. And that's why I can walk away from the whole situation feeling like I did it.
And now, do you feel like the way the office has handled it has been disrespectful to you, given where you came in and where they are now? And
I mean, yeah, the respect thing is like it's all going to be like a personal opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I feel disrespected 100% because I was told one thing and they completely did another. That's what I'm in the middle of right now. And you know what? Okay, I got my taste of it because I've had 4 different head coaches in 4 years, a bunch of different coordinators. I've had talk about the highs. They always come back. They always come back.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I had great times my rookie year. Like I didn't start in the beginning. I came in and got to have fun the back half of the year. 2019 sucked. 2020 was great. Made the playoffs. 2021 was miserable. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm just looking for stabilization right now, and like I know what I need to do for me to be the best version of me, and to be able to lead an organization. And like, I'm in a good place right now.
Right.
To where like, I have no clue where I'm going.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue with anything you just said right there, right?
You really can't.
I mean, again, the subtext of any conversation with Mayfield or about Mayfield will always get down to the unknown. We have no idea what was going on in that locker room, right? What happened where Odell Beckham disappears off the face of the planet and then reappears in the Los Angeles Rams Super Bowl run and winds up looking like the old Odell Beckham to the point where he was in line for the MVP in the Super Bowl before his knee gave out. Where did that all go so wrong? How does it all go so wrong? Is it the offense? Is it the scheme? Is it the quarterback? Is it Baker? The whole aspect of not working out for Baker Mayfield, how much of it is on him? Because everything else he just said right there is spot on, accurate. Doesn't matter if you're a Heisman Trophy winner. It doesn't matter how much you succeeded at the collegiate level. If you go into the NFL and have 4 different head coaches in 4 years and a front office that changes hands, certainly from the guy who drafted you, for the coach who perhaps didn't want you, and then the coach who then you get because they bounced the coach who didn't want you, is a guy who's never done it before and is so not ready for prime time, and Freddie Kitchens, and that's the guy. And then they bring in another guy who's coach of the year, but they bring in Odell who doesn't work out, and the coach of the year suddenly, what? Doesn't want you anymore, figures out it can't work out anymore, that they go in Deshaun Watson's direction with everything hanging over him and give him the contract that blows up the way the NFL does business. And I'm sure if he's saying that he was told one thing and another thing happened, if I'm not mistaken, during the timeline, there was a 24-hour period of Browns told they're out, Browns are being told they're back in, or they put themselves back in the game by guaranteeing every last dollar.
Right.
That there was a period of time where Browns are like, we're going to stick with Mayfield. We're going to try and get him in. And the word was Mayfield told him, get the hell out of here with that. I'm not your guy anymore. And then the conversation was, well, even if he holds out, we know he's ours and we'll make it work. Like there was that nether region of this entire episode where Mayfield was the guy they needed back and he wasn't coming. And I'm wondering if that also led to, one way out of this problem of a Mayfield potential holdout is let's get Watson anyway. Mm-hmm. And that's where maybe the communication broke down. But somebody's going to get somebody with a huge-ass chip on his shoulder. And the question is how is he going to fare in your new system? And the question is who? Because if you're Seattle and you love Desmond Ridder and you want to get multiple years of contractual control with him, or you're Carolina and you love Kenny Pickett and you want to get multiple years of contractual control with him, and you love Malik Willis and you want to get contractual control with him, do you do that? Or do you go for somebody who you're probably going to get on the cheap because the Browns are going to have to eat a hefty amount of that salary? And do you do that instead of getting the guy? You're on the clock and it's Desmond Ridder. If we don't get him here, we may not get him. What do you do? Oh, we got Mayfield in our back pocket. Let's do that. I don't know. But the draft is a huge piece of the Mayfield puzzle. I told you guys the minute that Ryan went to Indianapolis, or that I didn't think Indianapolis was interested in him. And he was, remember, the Cleveland letter came out, and it's like, he wants Indianapolis.
Yeah. That's what
he wants out to Indianapolis. And it made sense. I'm like, why not go to Frank Reich? Why not go to a team that has that running game? Why not go to a team that, minus Carson Wentz in the final 2 weeks of the season, was ready to be that proverbial team you didn't want to face in the playoffs, just like the Niners turned out to be. But if he didn't go there, I'm like, I don't think he's going anywhere before the draft. And I don't think if the draft goes a certain way, he's going to go anywhere after it either. Unless somebody wants to get him and have him compete with somebody who? Like the kid you just drafted? With Carson Wentz? Even though you got, Heineke sitting there? You know what I mean? Like, where does he go? Tampa? Maybe if Arians was still there, I don't know. Because Brady's not going to be there for a while, whether he wants to retire or wind up apparently in this Bermuda Triangle Miami Dolphins rumor that's going on out there. I don't know where Baker's going to wind up. So that last part of the soundbite is like, I don't know where I'm going to go. That's fact. I don't know either. But today's visits are huge on that front. Huge. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.